Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
How you going?
Good, thanks.
Well, look, today it's great to be here. Now, how many of you have all these misconceptions when it comes to the idea of what is an entrepreneur or having entrepreneurship? You know, about creating money and bringing in wealth. Like so many things come up, isn't that right, Laura? We
Mm.
deal with this stuff all the time. You know, when I was growing up, I spent a lot of my youth in a small town called Catherine. And all the way on the other side of the world from you, Laura, who's in London, right? This is in Australia. Now, I remember back then I would watch Rage in the morning on the weekend or some music channel, and I would be in complete awe of all these artists, all dressed up. And whether it was the way they dressed or how stylish they were, I remember thinking to myself, one day I want to be like that. One day I just want to be like that. And although it was such a small town and, you'd think, oh, wow, that is just a distant dream. But I'd be there performing in my bedroom at nighttime, and imagining that I'd be gracing these stages all around the world, right? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that when it comes to talking about money, this is where the first misconception that holds entrepreneurs back, or any entrepreneur for that matter,
Mm.
because we think that wealth is something that most people are born into. Have you felt that? They were born into it, and we think because we aren't taught in school how to create wealth or how to achieve the kind of wealth, that we dream of. Instead, we're fed really, really crappy story that we've got to go get a job, hustle and grind, work really hard, work for somebody else. I mean, who here has had that truth? I remember that. I mean, I went to university and got 2 degrees.
Mm.
like I mean,
Yeah.
and then I didn't stop studying. I mean, oh my God, I've got every certification under the sun now
Mm.
because I was in that realm. But the truth is working for someone else isn't the path to wealth. You can't save yourself to financial freedom.
Mm.
I mean, do you agree? Like it's a true. Like what kind, real wealth can transform lives. It's a different game altogether. And this can be played, if we call it a game, by anyone, as long as you know how to do it, or know the rules,
So
or get rid
as
of.
an entrepreneur
Yeah,
and just thinking about the misconceptions of
yeah,
entrepreneurship,
yeah.
um, that how does that affect entrepreneurship, do you think?
Well, it holds people back in terms of their mindset. And a lot of people, if they don't make that mindset shift, they suffer from procrastination, perfectionism, because in that also, a lot of coaches are brought up with the fact that entrepreneurs that are rich are actually evil. Because we think about, we watch movies growing up, and that wealthy person in a bill sitting in their office in this building worth a gazillion dollars, that they're evil. That's what an entrepreneur is. That is what a wealthy person is,
Mm. Yeah.
and so that can hold people back because they think, if I'm an entrepreneur, I'm going to have to be in a position of selling, and selling is dirty. So so they create all these different stories inside their mind. Does that
Mm.
make sense?
Mm. Yeah, I definitely, we were talking about selling yesterday, weren't we? I think there's definitely
Yeah.
a perception of selling being bad. And I definitely who here watching this has been told to work hard and work harder and work harder and work hard. I definitely came from that world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I didn't really have a perception that entrepreneurism
Mm,
was, but I guess my family were from that sort of
yeah.
place too, so I didn't have that perception. But there's definitely entre-
Yeah.
entrepreneurs are portrayed as they're
Yeah.
not seen necessarily as a good thing because they're successful because they've taken everything from everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well,
wealth has come because they wrestled it off someone and stuck it in their bank or something like that.
yes. Funny enough, Laura, when having faced adversity and I got into the point where I wanted to be a coach online and grow my business, online. When got to the point when I was talking to a lot of healers, a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants in
Mm.
the online realm, a lot of them found there were many, not all of them, there were many of them that thought that charging, a premium price for their services was a bad thing.
Mm.
And they based it, they weren't thinking about their own worth and the incredible service that they could provide because somebody out there needed exactly what they had to offer, but they felt that they had to give themselves for free or a very low price, otherwise they'd be perceived as not doing the right thing by anybody, or evil, or they had all these stories made up in their minds. And it took a lot for them to actually make that shift, and it was only when they become I consider myself a pro coach, where we have that mindset shift and know that it's about the outcome or the end result and providing exceptional value for that person.
I mean, who here watching this has felt like at some point you're like, I don't think I'm worth that. I don't think I'm worth that higher ticket offer. And we see it all the time, don't we, Clarissa? And we felt it ourselves, we'd be lying if we were like, oh, we're this perfect high ticket offer, people. And I think that perception of like is present in everybody, and it's about being able to jump some levels and get into the headspace of wanting to provide high level services. I remember when we first started out, we were doing like offers, we were giving away the world, and because we had intentions, right? We had good intentions, but what it meant is that we were like scrabbling around to try and serve all the clients we had, because we couldn't, because we had too many clients and not enough cash flow, and we couldn't service them in the way. But as soon as our offers were more high ticket, it meant that we could really dedicate our time and our headspace and our thinking and our services to those clients. And I think once you make that switch, I just don't think you ever go back, do you?
No, you don't. And I love it because you came up with this term, Laura. Once we made that shift and became a pro coach, because we've been there, we've done that, and it was about focusing on that mindset. A wealthy person's mindset is actually, which is a different way of thinking. It was about, a pro coach believes in abundance. That a pro coach believes that there's more than enough for everyone, including you, including me, everyone. A pro coach doesn't believe there's competition, as a reason not to start. Pro coach sees, that market is working, that the market is viable. Competition is good, if you want to, we always say that. But so it was an overcoming perfectionism and moving past all these misconceptions about what it is to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. I mean, who here has suffered from procrastination or perfectionism? I mean, who here has procrastinated saying, I'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes because life just gets in the way? Yeah. Yeah. And really, in reality, and I'm sure you feel like this too, Laura, people don't really care about how many degrees or certifications they have. You have, they care about the impact that you're going to make in their life.
Yeah, I guess it's it's not, I think a lot of people we work with have certification. I think that's the key. I know you've got lots of degrees, but it's feeling like you need to be certified.
Yeah, or you need to be knighted, or you don't need to.
Dan Kennedy calls it alphabet soup after your name, kind of thing. But actually, in the end, people only care about the value you can give them, and it doesn't matter, whether you have any alphabet soup after your name.
Oh, I love that alphabet soup. I'm so going to talk about that.
Yeah,
that is wow. That's wicked. So yeah, so if you're ready to take your business, to the next level or beyond, and leverage with ease, Make sure you reach out to us at Offer Accelerator. You know, message us, send us a DM. We'd love to hear from you. You guys rock. And remember, you are absolutely awesome. And as Eileen Wilder says, somebody out there needs exactly